this is the big story. The real big story here, which I am personally involved with. I had DHS retweeting a tweet at me. We'll come back to it, but look, this is Nikita Buyer replying to at LP Original G and getting quote tweeted by the Homeland Security. It starts with this. Okay, so stay with me because this whole story is kind of convoluted, but I'm going to run you through exactly what happened. When they first turned on the ability to see countries, like I said, it was on for like an hour. This person, this account posted a quote tweet over DHS. By the way, we're going to come back also to this State Department thread about mass immigration. We're going to come back to that and look at that because it is interesting. So Homeland Security said, get me to the base department. And then this guy quote tweeted and was like, oh, look, based in Israel. Now, I saw this. It had like 8 million views when I saw it. It's up to like 40 million now. I saw this. I said, oh, funny joke. And then I just kept scrolling. I didn't look at the replies. I didn't look at anything. I just assumed this was a joke, right? That DHS is based in Israel. Now, this screenshot is definitely fake. We can know in hindsight because it wouldn't say Tel Aviv. So this was just a funny fake screenshot joke about Homeland Security being based in Israel, right? And I saw that and I immediately assumed that without looking into it. But the story gets weirder, okay? It gets much weirder because, as I said, they turned off the feature like an hour after it was released and it was off for a day. During that time, a guy named Sneed Feeder was claiming that he had seen it being connected to Israel. And he posted this video, this screen recording of him looking at the account and clicking on it. So you see he's clicking around, right? Which shows that we're not dealing with like an inspect element thing. Everybody knows you can use inspect element and go in and change what a web page says, but if you refresh or click around, it's not going to keep those changes. So there he clicks on the thing, and here you see it says joined in Israel. This looks the way it would look. Israel Android app, that's accurate. That's how that would look if you were on Android in Israel. He zooms in, right? Date joined Israel, account based in Israel. So you have that. I saw this video. I tweeted about it. I embedded this guy's video. I said the official DHS account was revealed to have been created in Israel. I saw a screenshot of this and assumed it was a joke, but apparently it's real and confirmed by Grok. The geolocating features were disabled shortly after. It was still disabled when I made this tweet. And Grok had also confirmed it. I think that's in this thread somewhere. We'll look at some screenshots later, but so I had seen all of that. So I saw the video. I saw people saying that they had seen it themselves, you know, firsthand witness testimony. And I saw Grok saying that it was real. The fact that they turned it off so quickly was very suspect. And so all these things, I made this tweet, right? But then later, Nikita Buyer, who is the head of product at X, he replied to my tweet. He said, this is fake news. Location was not available on any gray check. And furthermore, the DHS has only shown IPs from the United States. Now, something that's interesting, you may note there's a label on this tweet that says manipulated media, stay informed. And it brings you to a thing about authenticity that talks about inauthentic accounts, ban evasion, inauthentic behaviors, engagement spam. You may not share inauthentic media, including manipulated or out of context media that may result in widespread confusion. So they added this label that no one's like ever really seen before. And I have a theory about this, which is that because when Allison saw the Nikita reply, she was like, you should delete that tweet. And I was like, no, I'll just post an update underneath because that's actually better. If you want to like reduce the spread of misinformation, it's better to post an update than it is to just delete your thing and pretend like it never happened. But Allison said like, oh, well, it's going to get community noted anyway, and you're not going to make any money off of it. And I was like, yeah, it will definitely get community noted. But as you can see, in all this time, this is like basically 48 hours, it hasn't been community noted. So they added this, and I have a theory that like anti-Israel bias is so bipartisan and like trust in the establishment. And when people say like, oh no, that's not real, like trust is so low that they can't get a community note to stick because people on both sides of the aisle, if you know the way community notes work, it's for the note to stick, it has to be people who disagree with each other to some degree, typically are all agreeing that the tweet deserves a community note. So they couldn't get a community note on this because everybody is like, nah, fuck that. Israel runs America. And so because the community note won't stick, they at X added this manipulated media thing, which they like never do. That's my theory. Okay, that's me speculating. Then you had people claiming they saw it with their own eyes. This guy, U.S. Office of Public Thought, he says, when I saw the screenshots, I assume they're edited, but I checked it myself last night and took a screenshot. It said Israel, then they shut it off, and now the updates hide it completely. So you have people claiming they saw it. There's lots of those. Is it a 4chan hoax? Perhaps, but that is a thing that's happening. I will say this, it's very fishy. He says, they gave me special access to the new feature. It's like, what do you mean they gave you special access? You're literally fucking nobody. Join September 2025. Oh, look, if you mouse over, it even shows you this now. They gave me special access. No, they didn't. It'd be more believable if he didn't put that. So for what it's worth, I'm inclined to believe Nikita that this was just a hoax video. Although something weird is Lauren Witzke claimed she saw it. I don't consider Lauren Witzke to be the most trustworthy person. We'll come back to that, okay? So this is when they turned it back on. After they disabled it, they turned it back on, and you had immediately people saying, hey, why are the government ones not showing, right? So they turned the feature back on. Everybody went rushing to the Homeland Security to be like, holy is this real? And it doesn't show anything. The features are not enabled. Nikita says, we do not show location on any gray check accounts to prevent acts of terrorism against government leaders. That's weird. So you're saying this information puts people at risk? If you really believe that, why would you turn it on at all? And it's also hard to understand. Most of these government offices and stuff, they have web pages where you can look up the address. It's like I can go and look up the address of whatever it may be, the White House, DHS, all that stuff. But they're like, no, you don't understand. If people knew that DHS was in America, they would do terrorism. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. And if it was real, then that would mean everybody else is being put at risk. For what it's worth, Woe does not believe Nikita, and neither does Gen X Girl. And we're going to look at some of the stuff they're saying. It is a really weird tweet. If you're the member of a government for a country, one would assume that you're in that country. And even if it were to turn out you were in a different country, that doesn't really make it that easy for me to kill you. So Homeland Security quote tweets the Nikita's reply to me and says, I can't believe we have to say this, but this account has only ever run and operated from the United States. Screenshots are easy to forge. Videos are easy to manipulate. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, so here's Lauren Witzke. She goes, I can't believe you just lie and gaslight Americans like this. I even double checked and saw it for myself. It clearly stated that this X account was operating out of Israel when the feature first went live. Again, it was live for like an hour. So the window for people to have seen this was very small. I did not look, so I can't say one way or the other. And then here you have a whole bunch of accounts saying, I saw this. A bunch of people claiming I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. Is it a 4chan hoax? Perhaps. Probably. If I had to like bet my life, what did that account actually show as being in Israel or not? I would bet not. But also, we haven't seen any of the Grok tweets, but I guess I didn't pull them up. Mindy Robinson, except you are actually controlled by Israel, hence why you never went after them for their role. And it's so funny. I've known this chick for like ever because we both had big Facebook pages. Like 9 years ago when my original big Facebook page, all the Facebook admins would like talk to each other because there was so much censorship and we were all trying to help each other like get our pages back or whatever. And she's just like this mega bimbo bimbo. And now she's like this JQ pilled hippie bimbo. It's very funny. Gen X girl, Nikita Bayer getting slammed by community notes. This community note did get removed as we saw, but this is funny. He's like, yeah, we don't show it on government accounts. And then there was a community note showing for a while. The country level location of government leaders is already public knowledge, even when traveling. In fact, it is often part of their official title. Example, President of the United States. And here we see that ICE has a field office in Tel Aviv, Israel. ICE is, of course, under the DHS. So the DHS has an office in Israel. You know, the people who are shitting on me after I got debunked by Nikita were all like, you should have known better. And I was like, dude, I saw a video of it that was recorded. Grok said that it happened. All these people said it happened. I was like, am I supposed to be smarter than Grok? And they're like, yes, you should be smarter than Grok. And it's like, it's not that crazy. Whenever you argue with people about why are we even allied with Israel, like what do we get? The number one argument they give is, well, the intelligence, we're so entangled with their intelligence service. So that's like the argument that pro-Israel people use is like, oh, we share so much intelligence. The ADL trains our FBI agents and that. So it's really that crazy that this Twitter account could be operated from an office in Israel. It's not that crazy. It's believable. Here's a tweet from Grok. The IP belongs to Partner Communications, an Israeli telecom firm. It's historically tied to the 2008 creation of DHS Gov's X account. I had posted the Grok thing to Nikita. He said it's fake news. I said, why did they shut it off right away? And he said it was shut off because the account creation country was incorrect on a very small subset of old accounts due to IP ranges changing over time. Now, this is a plausible explanation. Then he said, stop spreading information. You're just as bad as those engaging in foreign interference. And I said, well, Grok is also just as bad. Maybe I got tricked. I don't think it's fair to equate that with intentionally bad and dishonest actors. So here's another tweet from Grok. Yes, the DHS X account briefly displayed as based in Israel during a new feature rollout, possibly due to a glitch or IP data. It's now corrected to Washington, D.C. The occupied claim is interpretive. So all evidence, when I made the tweet, all empirical evidence pointed to that really happened. The only better evidence available would be somebody having inside info that I don't have access to, like Nikita. So again, you have all these tweets of all these people claiming they saw it. I'm inclined to think that these people are all hoaxers. I don't want to call Lauren Witzke a liar, but she claims she saw it. Here's another account. On my mom, last night when that tweet first went viral, I went on this page myself and the location said Israel. You changed it. So that was posted yesterday morning. You know, what do you guys think? Are all these people lying? Are all these people 4chan hoaxers? This account was made less than a year ago, but it does appear to be just a normal retarded normie woman for what it's worth. Syrian girl had also, she posted the same thing slightly before me. It's weird that I got all the heat because hers had like just as many views, although she did go private, so maybe that's why. Hers doesn't even show the manipulated media label. Somebody showed me a video of how to fake it here, and the way you do it is you use a browser extension. So that all tracks and makes sense. You see he clicks on his thing. It shows his account based in Mars connected via the Galactic Federation app. He's clicking around, same as the other guy, and then he's going to go in and turn off the extension, Profile Tweaks extension. And then it shows he's connected in Portugal. So a little weird that you have a bunch of people swearing they saw it with their own eyes, but you know, could be trolls, but that's the story. That's what happened. So you guys can make up your own mind what you think happened there. A lot of weird things. The explanation about terrorism, why they don't show on government, weird. Anyway, that's the story. Another story is the ADL wants U.S. taxpayers to pay $4 billion to Israeli October 7 victims through the U.S. Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorism Act. ADL sues Iran, Syria, and North Korea in bid to tap the U.S. Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorism Fund. That's weird. So you're suing Iran and Syria for something that Palestine did, and if you win, I have to pay? Kind of feels like I'm the one getting sued, doesn't it? The American taxpayer. Here's a little video of some lady talking to Tucker Carlson about this.
Are in my Congress, lobbying Congress and writing legislation that harms the rights of 9/11 widows and children. And they're writing legislation to change this government fund that's supposed to be for American victims of terrorism.
From September the 11th to October the 7th.
Wait, why are you in my Congress? And
foreigners will get some of this money now?
Well, they're dual citizens and they're trying to expand the laws. I don't know much about Israel's Congress or their laws, but like, why aren't they in Israel lobbying their Congress? Why aren't they in Israel using Israel's judicial
Why would the
system?
United States taxpayer pay the victims of October 7th?
If you want to be compensated, that's fine, but don't harm the rights of the widows and kids.